shiny things don't last, and shiny things break fast.
If you're always searching for the next thing to excite you, what are you committed to seeing through?
Because if you don't have a strong why, then you're gonna look for the next shiny thing.
And that to me is what actual alignment is. My self-worth was like, kind of on the ground.
What are you trying to, like, what are you chasing? Build a little flower bed in the valley, I don't know. So when you make it to the peak, you could actually like just see the sun and just hang out. One, I think we're growing up. Because like I'm just thinking about like,
it sounds so sad.
I know, but I think that the question we should talk about is, how do you continue on? Not from a hard thing, just like in general.
So is it how do you take steps towards something you want?
No, just like, how do you continue living?
You said it wasn't sad.
No, it's not meant to be like living. Not that like you die instead, but like doing it, like thriving. How do you keep thriving? Maybe I don't know.
Well, one of the things that you said earlier was that. Why are you cracking up?
Because I can't find my words. Okay,
you're I'm listening. So funny. Our life looks a little bit different now than it did 2 years ago.
Yes.
And there were steps that we took to make sure that was the case. And something you've said before, even on the podcast and off the podcast, is that like your life would look the same as it does now. Maybe you would just have more money. Or there's a different, you phrased it differently, but that's what I gathered. Is that correct?
I mean, kind of. I think the point I was trying to make was that, like, if your life would look the same if you had more money, then you're doing the right thing.
Right.
It'd be nice to also have the money. I mean, I'll take the money. Yeah, but it was more of like a check of like, are you aligned?
Mm-hmm.
I think what I was
But what do you mean by are you aligned?
Like, does your life look the way you want it to look? Regardless of like if I had more money, I'd still be investing it in the things I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing like something different than what I'm doing right now that's what I meant. Because like if having more money meant that I would like go become like an archaeologist, then I'm not doing what I want to do in my life currently. Mm-hmm. Right? So like, how do I take steps towards like the thing that I'm actually interested in doing? So I feel like I'm doing what I want. That was my point. But I think what I'm saying also is like our life looks different, and I think sometimes we talk about it all the time, but like it kind of just also happened, right? Like when I look at the picture of my life right now, like I'm like, whoa, this is a really different picture. And like, yeah, I've been working on it and you've been working on it, but the change happens also seems like overnight sometimes. Or looks like it happens overnight. Does that make sense?
It feels like it happened overnight?
Not in the experience of it, but just like when I look at the snapshot for today, like if I look at the snapshot of my life today, like, and I think about what I was working towards 2 years ago,
right? The
way these things played out, I did not imagine.
Of course not.
So the snapshot also feels like random. I'm like, oh, like now I'm like doing all these things that like I didn't even like have in my brain to do 2 years ago. You know, I wanted to do different things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That was that point.
Yeah. It definitely does look a lot different 2 years later. It's also interesting being in similar places that, at least for me, that I was in 2 years ago. And I'm talking about like physical spaces. And recognizing that how I feel in that space is completely different because of the steps that I've taken.
Say more words.
This is something I've been thinking a lot about. Like, in 2023, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was trying to figure out like who I was and what my sense of self was. And I didn't want to be an assistant to someone for the rest of my life. And so I was like, sure, I have this like full-time job, but what outside of it will I be doing that is for me, that is connected? Like, what are my hobbies? What are the things that I'm interested in? And I feel like I really started that exploration. And honestly, thanks to Tammy, because Tammy has always had like multiple jobs, like multiple interests and hobbies. And witnessing her being like, yeah, I got my little 9 to 5, but like these are the things that I actually really enjoy doing with my time. I wouldn't say forced me to consider those questions for myself, but definitely inspired me to think about those questions. Because I'm like, I don't just want to have, I don't know, I just didn't want to have like a 9 to 5 job and not have any identity outside of my job. And so especially when I started my shift at the studio 2 years ago, I just feel like I didn't really have, like my self-worth was like, you know, like kind of on the ground. which is fine. I think that's fine. And I think that it's like okay to say. And I just like didn't feel good about myself. And I think that's okay. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this thing and I'm not like, I felt like I wasn't being valued in any of the spaces that I was in. And it's not that people weren't valuing me, is that I myself I wasn't valuing myself and how I was showing up in those spaces. And so it's interesting now, 2-3 years later to say like, I don't know, things are I feel different. I feel different about myself. I feel different in the spaces that I'm in. And I feel like I'm actually contributing in a way that I want to, not in a way that, like I have an identity now. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Do you get what I'm saying?
How far off the ground is your self-worth now? Where's she at?
Like definitely, I don't know.
Higher than off the ground.
Definitely not even close to the ground anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one of the lessons that I learned in 2023. I was like, oh shit, I could value myself. No one ever said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how I show up in spaces could reflect that. That really was the kickstart.
Yeah.
I guess, to everything else that I've been up to.
I love that. Because I think, part of what I see, what you're saying is like because you're with yourself all the time, or like even for me, like you don't notice small ways that things are changing until the big change happens, right? Mm-hmm. Like your hair has been growing slowly for the past and now it's long. Like it wasn't like long, I guess, last year, right? But it's always been growing. So it's just like it's cool to also try to stop at the moment where the thing happens, where like the shift is like present, because we talk about process so much that I think for me it's been easy to be like I'm still in a process, which you are. We all are collective, always trying to work through whatever. But like today was a good reminder. I was like, oh yeah, I was like things are different. Like even if my actions maybe day to day aren't necessarily all that different, and I've made these big changes like early on that I'm working on still, like it looks different now. Mm-hmm. Things are easier, whatever maybe. So I'm just grateful for the difference. But I think my experience is the same as yours. Like because of you, I started my shift, and something about that, having this like 2 hour, 3 hour, like just little block of time to be like, okay, like this is not a job. This is like not my identity. This is just like a pausing point. I really like held tightly to it. I'm like sad I don't have my shifts anymore. But I think it feels like some sort of progress to have like graduated from needing a pause. And like for both of us, we filled the time that we used for our shift with something else.
Right.
I was like, wow. I was like, I'm like doing this other really cool thing instead of a pause. Mm-hmm. So something about that feels really like profound. I haven't figured out what about it is profound yet, but that feels important in my head.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the reason is because it's something that you've wanted for so long. And now it's finally here. Not necessarily the pause, but like the way that things look now is something that you envisioned for yourself. Maybe not the way it's playing out, but you're like, I want to teach.
Right.
Now you're teaching.
Right. Again.
And it's something that you didn't, right. And now I'm sure your relationship to teaching is drastically different than it was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean by being in the same space, but being a completely different person.
Yeah.
And now, because you're a different person, the way that you engage in that space
is different.
Is drastic.
Yeah. I think the lesson there for me is like, I've always, like even like my homes, like every 2 years I'd move. Mm-hmm. Like just kind of by like circumstance, not necessarily for any like more intentional reason, but this is the first time that like I haven't. And I really struggled. Like the few months after I re-signed my lease for a third year, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I've been here for too long. Something needs to change. Like, there needs to be something different. And, like, I wasn't finding different. So I feel like there was, like a period of time, even in the past, like, I want to say, like, between, like, July and now that, like, were really hard. Not because of anything that was happening, but just, like, the stagnancy of being in the same place. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think I was realizing that I wasn't the same. That makes sense? Yeah. So the space and me, I was like, no one's going anywhere. Like, everyone is stagnant. So it's interesting to think about, like, I don't know how all these small things show up, and like when it finally becomes clear to yourself that like the thing that you've been working towards is like present. Yeah. I don't know if we always appreciate the clarity or the moment where we see it.
I mean, no, we're taught to move just past keep going. It.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
We're taught to like, okay, now where's the new apartment? And to like look for that. Mm-hmm. And that's something I've actually been thinking about recently too. It's like, how can you stay in the same place and not feel stagnant? So especially because I've been in my apartment for almost 4 years now. It's
Yeah, it's
longest
long time.
place I've ever lived in outside of my like childhood home, I guess. And so I have this itch inside of me, like I want a new space. I want to be somewhere different. Because I do think that there's an energetic piece to it, right? That if
Yeah.
you're in a different space, different things can happen.
Yeah.
But like where is the balance between like wanting stability and wanting adventure?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Is what I've been.
Just like change the wallpaper. That's
Yeah,
new, you know?
and then
Yeah.
and then it's different, and so you could put like art on the wall. So there are different ways to remain in the same place and not have the same experience.
Yeah, no, you're right. Though part of why this whole came up for me in my head was like I just, it was like someone showed it to me, and then I very quickly, because it was shown to me, I was able to see it in you. That I was like, oh, you got to say stuff out loud to people, because when you were talking about your class, I was like, oh my god, you're doing the thing, like it's happening, and like not that you didn't see it for yourself, but
Yeah.
it was so clear to me that I was like, oh my god, I have to tell you how clear it is. It's like it's here.
I mean, I think we're all always trying to figure out what it is that we want to do. And there are places in my life where it feels really, really clear to me that this is something that I want to do. Every single time that I leave a class, I feel euphoric. It's like the weirdest feeling of my life. It's so drastic, like my emotional experience. And I don't feel that way in any other space that I'm a part of. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about it. But for that 1 hour, maybe it's because I'm just so present in the space, that I feel drastically different. I knew that I wanted to be a yoga teacher since I was like 18. And so that idea of it, that wasn't new for me. But knowing now, like kind of being on the other side, it's been almost 2 years since I got my yoga teacher training.
Exactly.
And especially with yoga, at no point were there any roadblocks, which I find to be really interesting, because I find that I have had roadblocks in other places, but not with yoga. Like I got my teacher training, I started teaching immediately, and I have not stopped. I haven't stopped, and I haven't wanted to. That's not something that I desired, and now I know I just know so much more, and there's so many other things that I want to learn. But it's really interesting to find something that you love and enjoy and want to keep doing for a really long time. And maybe it's the fact that I get to be creative in that space. Mm-hmm. That's something that I definitely want more of in other places. Like the Virgo in me is like, yeah, I like to be organized and I like to have systems.
You know, a class can be organized.
You know,
there's a flow.
Of course. So yeah, I feel like this year I want more creativity in every aspect.
I think my version of that, although I never necessarily wanted to be a classroom teacher, I've always wanted to be like a teaching something to someone, or like some sort of collaborative shared information space. And I think to your point, like there's never been a roadblock towards that for me either.
Yeah.
Like I've never had not a single time where I was like, I can't teach. Mm-hmm. It's never happened. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's never happened. Even with the current, like the pivot that I've made now, like kind of just fell into my lap. Like I didn't even really, I was looking for it. I was just kind of, I was just here. So I think that's an interesting thing to look for, is like, what are there no roadblocks for? And like, what is that trying to communicate?
Right.
Yeah. Because other things, mad hard. I'm like, I'm trying to help. I can't help. Mm-hmm. But this, like, I've never experienced any moment where like it wasn't available to me.
Exactly.
Like literally not one time. If I wanted to go teach more classes right now, like I could.
Yeah.
Like,
at every level.
Actually, it would actually be really easy.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Right. So like, what does that say?
Thought about that.
What does that say?
Yeah, it always was easy, and I feel like when I was younger, I didn't respect that. I was like, if it's easy, it's not worth it.
Right.
Or it's not the thing, or whatever. Like it's if it comes this easily, then it like it's not important. I don't know, whatever the like stereotypes that are around that are, but
yeah,
I think
But like, to me, there's a certain level of like letting go that happens.
Yeah.
Because if you're not searching for something, then you have no attachment to it. Versus if it's something that you really, really want and you are so consumed by the idea, it sometimes it takes longer for you to get to that thing.
Until you get to ease. I mean, ease is intuition. Like I remember learning that lesson and being like, oh, why am I working so hard for things that don't want me? What is like, why? Like, why is that what I've built my life to do? So just like knock on doors that are like never gonna open when I could just walk into the door. It's open right there, you know? But that pivot, I think, I felt like maturity to me. That pivot from in my head of just like, it's okay for things not to be yours, or like for things like for doors to be closed and they like not open for you. Like that doesn't have to always be a problem. It can be, you know, depending on what it is, and you know, there's layers and nuance, but there's also, I feel like it's easier to work towards the things that are really hard when you have ease, when you're able to like have things like, these are the things that that have come to me, that have like that have come into my life like when I wasn't searching for them. Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah, and that to me is what actual alignment is.
Yes, that I agree.
I don't know. I don't think that you always have to search for everything.
Yeah.
I don't think, even this year, like I was like, I'm good with the vision boarding. Like I don't need to do that. I'm really open to what life has to show me, and like the spaces that I need to be a part of, and the people that I need to meet, and I'm going to allow that to occur naturally.
Yeah.
And not in a way that it's like, I mean, I have to be in spaces.
Yeah, you gotta be outside.
You know, I gotta be outside to some extent. But also recognizing that it's like, I am showing up in spaces how I want to.
Yes.
And I believe that is enough. And I believe that the people that need to see me will see me. I believe the people that need to hear what I have to say will hear it. And that,
we love internal certainty.
You know,
it's good because like if you can't be rocked so easily. Yeah, I think even for me, like with like vision boarding or like the new year, whatever it is, like fake new whatever,
right? Not really.
Like I think a lot of mine, which I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, it's interesting. Like I didn't take it as like, what do I want this year to look like? I was like, here are things that I want this year to be. Here's like a box of where I'm gonna like practice. Like I really wanted to like learn more braiding hairstyles. So like part of my like whatever vision boarding was like styles, right? So there wasn't nothing around the things that I wanted for myself had to do with like, oh, I wish I could have this thing. It was just like, here's the things that I'm interested in. Like, how do I curate more variety in it so I can like practice? Or like, it was all just like creative little rabbit holes versus anything else, which again, I think
like deepening instead of stretching.
There was no stretching, and not even with the deepening, it's like things that they're all just like things that I'm doing already that I just want to do in different ways or whatever it is, or like colors that I want to try to wear or whatever. Like that's as deep as I think mine went. But I think about past years, like I think I really was like, oh, I hope this happened, or like, you know, and like that just didn't. It was like not even kind of what I thought about when I was thinking about it, which I think also was like a shift I didn't notice when it was happening.
Yeah, I definitely find that this year I am only I'm interested in maintaining the consistency.
Yeah,
of everything that I am a part of. Yeah, Michael, I just want to be able to do this whether it's at a higher level or the level that I'm doing it now, but continuing to do that.
Yeah, not like new things.
No, I don't really. I'm okay. Like I have enough interest. I think.
yeah, me too. I don't think I'm looking for new. And I think I'm looking for like variety in what I have. And all of that is like not outside of my choice. Like I can do something differently myself. You know, I can like teach a class differently. I can like do this differently. I'm do it within the spaces that I'm already a part of. Yeah. I don't think I want. There's nothing else that I want that's new, which is, I think it's different. I don't know. Like I feel like if you were to like watch our whole podcast series, like from day one to now, I feel like there's so many times where that was not what we were saying. Yeah. Where it was like, this hall has to be different. I can't believe this is where we are. Like there's so much like there's so much desire
and tension.
There's so much desire and tension with what was happening. But I think what was always consistent was the work. I think both of us have done like such an incredible job just being like, okay, like this is not working. Why is it not working? What could work about it? What can't change? What can change? How long? Like all of those little conversations, I think have like, it just feels different. I'm so glad that it feels different. But like,
honestly, I really hope it doesn't go downhill.
But if it does, you know how to get back. Right. Like true. This whole thing we just did is exactly the same way that you would shift it again. Like, hey, like it no longer feels aligned. Cool. Let's go back to your toolbox. Like, why not? What happened? What can, you know? Then you'll have all of these questions. You can just, you know, watch episode 3. Like, watch episode 16. You know, just and you can come back to those things. And I think we've built a really like strong toolbox. Yeah, I like that for us and for everybody else. But like,
you know, but for us first, for sure. I think it's good to not feel like you're in the constant state of building.
Yeah,
and that you could like look around and enjoy what it is that you are creating and are continuing to create. One of my biggest pet peeves, because you know we're down this rabbit hole.
Yeah, we like this rabbit hole.
Is people who are obsessed with the shiny object. I could go on and on about.
I mean,
this,
let's hear a little bit.
I really won't.
Let's hear just a little teensy bit. Give us a little teaser.
I just feel like you can't commit to anything. If you're always searching for the next thing to excite you, what are you committed to seeing through? So I just be side-eyeing people like that. I'm like, another project? Bitch, if you don't fucking finish
the first one,
this first project,
just the first 10, yeah.
Like, pick one thing and learn every piece of it. Learn it inside out. Practice it 1,000 times. And I promise you that more things will come as a result of that consistency.
And new things still.
Yeah. That's why even this year, I was like, there's nothing new that I really want. I just want to your point, like, I want to continue to have variety in what it is that I am already doing. I don't necessarily I'm not searching for anything. And I feel like sometimes when you are so stuck on just the shiny object, there's something happening energetically that I'm still trying to understand why people are that way. Maybe it's capitalism. I'm sure a part of it is, but there's something that maybe they don't feel satisfied.
Or maybe they only recognize their emotion when the shiny thing is presented. And otherwise they can't find their feelings.
Yeah. And so I really struggle with being in spaces with people that are like that. It's one of the easiest ways for me to get irritated. I'm so serious because I'm like, can we finish our project? Please. Before we move on to something else, I am a big proponent of let's figure this out and then we can add anything.
Yep.
But
anything shiny.
Right. Anything shiny? Oh, I'm always down for something
shiny.
Yeah, that's fine. I love a little gold. I love a little glitter. But something needs to substance. We also need substance. And I think you learn a lot by focusing on one project or idea and going really deep into that versus putting your hands in too many different places. So that's the kindest way that I can share how I feel. Kind. In my head, the words are not
fair.
The same.
But you found better words. I think.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. I feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. I will paraphrase. I'll tell you my version of it.
Please.
Well, one, I think we're growing up. Because I'm just thinking about
it sounds so sad.
I know, but I think about the 26-year-olds. I remember our first Substack, the little story we were sharing about how we made our way to have a podcast. Mm-hmm. It was just so central, everywhere, left and right, dishevelment everywhere, and it's cool. It's because I remember that time. I remember you. I remember me. I remember even this house. I remember the whole thing, and it was vibes, no vibes. I don't know. It was
really $1 in
a dream. Truly, $50 in a dream
and half a brain cell.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's interesting. This is part of why I think archiving is so cool, right? Yeah. To be able to be oh yeah, that was reality for a long time, right? And this is also a reality, right? But this wouldn't feel this good or this sweet. Mm-hmm. This peak would not feel like this peak unless we had the valley, right? Mm-hmm. That's why you need both. I'm always gonna be an advocate. You need a bad time to have a good time.
Fact.
You gotta have both, because otherwise you're gonna be real spoiled. You're not gonna know what you got.
Your head's gonna be too big.
Your head's gonna be too big, and you're not gonna notice it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be this is life. It's no.
Again, you're going to want to search for the next thing.
Which means that when you do eventually crash out, because crash outs are a part of our lives, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be long. That valley will be it'll just keep going. It'll become the long road, mm-hmm. you know? So I'm just, I think we're growing up. But in terms of shiny things, part of why I say we're growing up is I remember only wanting shiny things. I remember being the new thing is the thing I want, because the new thing means that I've leveled up.
Interesting.
You know? And not that I wanted it, but I understood the ladder of always like being given something else, being given a harder thing or a new thing is capitalism. It's the thing that makes you stay relevant, right? Yeah. And I think that there's the lesson that I think that you and I have learned, and the reason why it's also a pet peeve of mine to be like, just sit down, like like it's okay. The trend will pass, like, but that feels like growth because I love a well-used thing. I love it. You give me something that was handmade by whoever, and I'm holding it as someone else's hands had it first. Like, my favorite, right? Like it's a like things that have been like held and loved well and used well and like practiced on, and all those things like make something so much more, to me, so much more like worth it, so much more interesting. The shiny thing is like mass produced. Probably, right?
1,000%.
The things that you're saying, like the projects you commit to and you put your energy and your love into, you can see it. The shiny thing, and the way that I imagine shiny things is like they're pretty for the first like 10 seconds you look at them. Yeah. And they have nothing else to offer besides the like glitter.
And glitter, it's not sustainable.
No.
It's not sustainable.
No, it's not. And it's not I think it's enjoyable if your validation and everything else comes externally. So I understand, like, I could see 26-year-old, 25-year-old me being like, yeah, like when I'm giving something new, I'm like, someone thinks I'm valuable, like enough to give me something new or like never touched before or whatever. And that was like, but the lesson was that is not valuable. Like, you give me a thing you've loved well is valuable. Like, you sharing with me a thing that like you've had with you, and now I get to be my new thing. That is my preferred value, right? Shiny things don't last, and shiny things break fast. Like,
shiny things don't last and shiny things break fast.
That's a poem.
That's a fucking word. Yeah. That's a gem right there.
It's not built well. It's not gonna last.
You're never gonna be satisfied.
Yeah, that metaphor lands across the board. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is so sad.
Yeah.
To go the rest of your life not feeling satisfied. Feeling like you have to somehow stay relevant, and you need to reinvent yourself in the process of that. Yeah. It's like, so then what do you want? What do you enjoy? Who are you?
Yeah, I feel like a chameleon. Like, you just kind of adopt the thing around you, like, for the moment that it's present. Yeah. That one sounds exhausting. Yeah. And it's cool to have a preference. It's cool to be like, I actually like this better. And it not be like, whatever, people don't have to share your opinion. Like, it's you get to curate your life. Like, how cool that we get to build a life that we want. And it can be built with things that you like. That's it. An aesthetic is just things that you enjoy. I think it's part of what I've been thinking about is, like, in terms of creativity, is like, I'm like, I've never really gotten a chance to figure out like what I want. Not in terms of like life, but just like even like colors, like shapes. Like, I don't know. I don't have strong opinions either way. So I think like the more space you give yourself, the more you focus on like less things, or you deepen your interest in things, the more you can be like, oh, I've never really like thought about like my preference here, or like what I think I would enjoy, and like you get to build like your personality, like you get to build a personality and like an interest and like a portfolio of like things you enjoy, and that doesn't happen when you're looking for the next thing. It can't happen because you're so busy looking around. You're not like admiring or examining or trying something out. Like, you're just looking for what's new, and new things are never new anyway.
Right. New things aren't new.
No.
And I'm always down for people to try different things. I'm always down I think we live in a world of the multi-hyphenate right now, where it's like everyone wants to do 1,000 different things. Everybody wants to have a podcast just because, I don't know, they have words in their head and they want to say them out loud.
Or it's like profitable.
It's all these things. And again, you can try whatever you want, and then you can figure out if you like it or not. But I think my problem when it comes to people just tapping into different mediums or doing like always looking for the next thing is that they aren't able to build a palette, like you're saying. Yeah. It's like, where are my gifts actually useful? Where are my gifts necessary? Yeah. How do I want to show up? What medium do I want to use to do that? And when you are doing too many different things,
you can't figure out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like do you know yourself really?
Like maybe you try podcasting and then you decide you don't like it, but then you'll be able to understand and explain why you don't like it. You'll have a real opinion to be like, oh, it's because like I work better on paper, whatever. Like, but if you're podcasting and writing and whatever else, like your brain's doing too many things to have any secondary opinion. You're just trying to like accomplish.
Yeah.
So you need to like also like retreat. I agree. That's why I like praxis. That's why I'm always going to be an educator. Like iterating as you go only happens if you're pausing. If you don't know how to be like, is this working? Do I like this? Why am I doing it? Like, what's your intention? Why? Always why.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a strong why, then you're going to look for the next shiny thing.
Not only that, why are you only making decisions on a temporary feeling that you are going to have? It is so much more difficult to stay with something long term. That is just a fact.
Yeah.
It is so much easier to be like, oh, I'm going to pick this thing up. I'm going to see how, it was fun. Okay, cool. And then you don't see that through.
Yeah.
And then you try something else. Oh my God, I have this feeling. I'm so excited about it. And you don't see it through. So like, what are you also teaching yourself?
Yeah.
In that process?
You're limiting your range of emotions. Like you're looking for like euphoria, like things that give you quick excitement.
It feels like a high.
Yeah.
It's like a way to naturally give yourself a high.
Yeah. And the high is only the first time for most things. Yeah. That's why that can't be the motivation. You're right. I agree. And I think there's room and creativity for that to be what you create for yourself. Like for me, I feel like I'm like a hobby starter who like doesn't finish things, but like not because I found a new thing. I just need to finish my projects. But like I think there's room in like that space where like it's not my life. It's not my life.
It's not your business.
It's not my life. It's not my life. Like it is. I know. Like I have like a certain amount of budget in my head to be like I'm interested in like just seeing if I know how to do this like craft thing, right? Like so if people are interested in that experience, you can give yourself that without it being you're reinventing yourself every 30 days, like
without it becoming your identity. Yeah, because that's usually the case.
Yeah.
And then if you don't receive the external validation that you want, or you don't receive it as fast as you want it, because part of this is speed, right?
Yeah.
Then you're no longer interested in it. So were you interested in the first place?
Right. What were you interested in?
And maybe this is because I am who I am, but there are certain things that are not going to feel great, and you have to do them anyway. You're not going to enjoy every aspect of what you do.
That's what discipline is for.
That's where discipline comes in. I don't know if maybe it's discipline, maybe it's just a commitment.
I think discipline, like maybe it's something similar, but like discipline is like in my head is like doing the thing the day you don't want to because you know that you're like it's important or you've committed to it. Right? So I think discipline is like maybe the action of commitment.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Because otherwise, like I don't know. Like, it depends on what your values are, maybe. Maybe that's what the difference is. Like, for me, I value people who have deep experience.
Right.
In what they're talking about. So if you want to talk to me about something and you don't have deep experience, the chance of me, like, hearing you all out is low. And it's okay if you don't have it now, but, like, if you're working on it, you're trying to get it, cool. Like, you're interested, you're curious. And I'm all for, like, switching up, but it's like, why? I'm going to come back always to why.
Yeah,
why?
what's your intention?
Why? What are you trying to accomplish? Like, what are you chasing?
What are you chasing? And why?
Who's chasing you?
Yourself. But what do you think you're going to get on the other side?
Right. What are you invested in? Process or results? Process is
praise.
More fun. Praise. Yeah. Being beholden to external praise is really quite difficult. It might not come. You might have to become a pretzel to get it. Like, and we're not pretzels. You know? We don't bend that way.
I love that. We don't bend that way.
No, like that looks hard. Like, no, we got bones. No.
So even the question that you asked at the beginning, like, how do you go on? It's by staying steady.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. Yeah. I value people who have deep experience, but I also value people who have committed themselves to something.
Yeah.
And have spent like character. 20 years of their life, like trying to understand something.
And it'll evolve. Wow. It'll give you all the new things.
Of course it will.
Like the amount of things that like teaching has created in my life that has nothing to do with a classroom is so large. Teaching is why I'm like into all these little crafts and I'm like trying to learn them. Like it's why I, try to build things myself or try to cook from scratch. It's all of that is still rooted in like understanding like directions and rules and how to explain things. All of that is the same world. Like the world opens up when you stay a little longer.
Yeah.
A little longer. Past the point where it's interesting. Just like stay. You might chapter 2 might be good too. You know?
And only you'll get to find out.
Yeah. And it'll look different for you. Like there's so like even what you're saying about like how the euphoria you feel from teaching. Like let's say you taught your first class and you didn't like you were bored by it or it went badly and you didn't ever teach again. Like then what? You would miss out on this?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That would suck.
Yeah. So I think it's a skill set to commit to something and to stay for a long time.
Yep. Or to stay past your like the initial high. Initial high will fade.
Yeah.
Yeah. The commitment has to be like internal. It has to be like, I don't know. I think whenever I'm doing anything outside of my body, it's to understand something inside of my body.
Of course.
So like if you're doing things that are just for outside your body, then you're not gonna stay. Maybe that's it has to be something that's never gonna leave you. Like your heart, your head, your hands, something that like you're intrigued by, like the way it affects something in you.
Yeah.
And that's how you find commitment, maybe.
Yeah, and this has also made me ask the question, like, do you feel like you're internally motivated or externally motivated?
Internally.
Yeah. I mean, I figured what the response would be. I was like, I would not be here.
Yeah. You know,
we're doing most of the
things,
things,
like
you know?
I would be so, well, this wouldn't exist at all. Oh my God. That would be really quite tragic.
I know.
Yeah, like you and I, we write essays on Sundays. We're not externally motivated. No one's asking us to do that. That's just me and you.
I know, but it's a question I've never asked explicitly. I just made an assumption because of how we move.
Yeah, but I wonder. I wonder if I was ever externally motivated. I think
that's what I'm trying to figure out for myself too.
What's hard for me about that? I mean, I could think about like high school. I like getting good grades,
of course.
But I think the thing that made me learn to not be that way is like it was too hot and cold. Like if I was relying on external validation only, it was far. It didn't come as often as often as I needed it, or like the good and the bad. Like I would get external motivation that was like, yay, A, oh my God, C. Like it was too. I was like, I can't live my life like this. Like I have to be a little more like steady. I was like, give me a C. Let me just float with a C. So I feel like I had to. I don't think it was conscious, but I feel like I had to stop. Like I had to stop letting it impact me in any particular way.
Yeah.
Good or bad, because then I become reliant on it. So for me, I think I had to then be like, all right, like you gotta like yourself, because it's not gonna have to. It can't matter. I live alone. I don't know. Like I wouldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you feel like you were ever externally motivated?
I actually don't think so.
I mean,
sure, maybe to some extent.
Like academically, that's what I'm saying.
Academically, I can understand, but I never did something because I was going to get a reward on the other side of it, or I was going to receive praise. Right. Like that was not something that I was like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, and I feel like whenever I get praise, even now, like I feel like I'm like, this is actually wrong. I actually. Yeah. So it doesn't work for no. Yeah. But it must be. I think it's an important question to ask and one to investigate. If you are externally motivated, like, how can you build it in a way that is sustainable, or how can you shift it so you are also internally motivated? Because that's the whole thing about like skill or will. Like, do you want to or not? Because if you don't want to, like, nothing else you learn is going to cement itself in you in any way because you're not interested. Yeah. So you have to kind of be interested in something. Right. Anything. Right. Anything like not harmful. Anything. Anything. I had to clarify because I feel like, you can get really interested in a lot of things, and it's okay. Let's pick things that are not bad.
I really wonder if there was ever a time in my life, and I just can't.
Well, maybe not. Okay. Do you ever feel like when you do get praise, you like are like happy? Like you're like, yay, I got a compliment, or someone was proud of me. Maybe it's not the motivation. It feels good. Okay. Yeah.
It feels good.
Is that always been the case or no?
It's easier now to receive that kind of information. Which I just feel like, it's a part of just growing up and like being nicer to yourself. It's like, okay, people are nice to me and let me keep it pushing. Sometimes it's nice to also hear it. Yeah. It's like, I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, do you think I'm doing that? Like, how is it landing for you? Yeah. What is your experience of this thing? So
I think if I think about anything, maybe I'm like really picking hairs, but if anything that I'm extremely motivated by is like and people recognize my consistency, it motivates me to stay consistent with them. Not like in life, but like with whatever it is that they are like observing. Which, sometimes it'll be things that I don't think I realize that we're being like for example, like I think in a work setting for me, like I know that I'm thorough. Like it's I don't know, my anxiety, whatever you want to call it. But I think like it is something that people always tell me that they appreciate about, which I'm like grateful for, like thanks. And also it like is a good reminder to like keep going, I guess. But not that I would stop
to keep
if they
at
didn't
it.
say it. Yeah, but like it's a that wasn't one I could think of where I'm like, I am more motivated to continue to be thorough because you told me like that I'm thorough. I wouldn't stop, but like maybe I'm even more thorough after. I don't know, but that's the only example I can think of.
Yeah,
Everything
I would
else
agree.
Is mine internally.
Yeah.
If I don't want to do it, I can't do it. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
There's nothing. If I'm not interested, it's
gonna be hard to get it done. It's gonna be delayed.
It's gonna be done poorly.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna be done poorly.
I was about to say, yeah, it's not gonna be done poorly. Yeah. So funny. This made me think about whether or not you would consider yourself a procrastinator. And I don't really think that's true.
I kind of do.
You do?
It depends on the task. I'll never miss a deadline.
Of course.
I would, yeah. But I definitely don't start things as early as I could start them. But it's because I know how effective I am when I'm close to it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So it's like, I don't, like, if I'm supposed to, like, if I'm supposed to, like, write an essay, like, I can't outline it weeks in advance. I have no idea what I'm going to write about. Like, nothing comes to my brain. My brain is like, what are we talking about? Like, there's enough other
Why
things.
are we here?
Yeah, it's like, this is not due. So I'm not generating anything. But something about being closer to when something is due, I have more I don't know, I just have more ideas. So
maybe the time crunch.
Yeah, so something about that, but it's not because I'm like, oh, I'm avoiding it. I'm just doing whatever else is due.
Yeah. That is
but I think I would consider myself a procrastinator, but maybe not. I don't know what the definition is, but like I do it on purpose. I don't know if people who procrastinate do it on purpose.
Yeah, that's
for me. I'm like, it's due in 2 weeks.
True.
Okay, I'm gonna start a week.
Yeah.
So I just don't even think about it until then.
Okay. I don't know if I'd consider that procrastination.
Maybe not. But
that's more just like delaying the task.
Yeah. Until we're close, you know.
Yeah,
but my weekends be a little tight, but they, you know, I'm thorough. I'm trying to look up what it means.
Yeah.
So if there's an intention, because I think in my head I think of it as like avoidance.
Yes, it is avoidance. It's just like you're delaying doing something because maybe it's internal.
Okay. Apparently a symptom of it is emotional regulation struggles, not laziness. Okay. Oh, so say people have like other emotions that come. Yeah, I don't know if that's connected to why I do it.
I mean, I never thought that procrastination was connected to laziness.
I think some people do.
I think people are bad time managers.
They are.
That's why.
I feel like when I was growing up, people would call people who procrastinate lazy. But I think for me, it's like if you, because the thing for me, like no one knows I'm a procrastinator because my work is never late.
Right.
But I think procrastinators get themselves away by giving in half-finished assignments. But I'm like, why would you do that?
Now everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, you should cut that, you know, on the wraps. And it hasn't. And I think when I was younger, like it never failed me. I think I would have stopped. I think I would have started doing stuff earlier if I ever like didn't finish a thing on time.
Yeah,
but that's never happened. I wouldn't let that happen. I don't know.
You wouldn't
like
let that
was not gonna happen.
Yeah.
There was one time where I was late on an essay in my AP history class, and I sent a corrupted file. I like it was like we submitted it through like email. We'd email her the paper. I sent her a corrupted file because I wasn't done with it yet, and then she tried to open it and it didn't open. And then like a week later, she's like, "Hey, this document." I was like, "So weird." Here, and I just sent her the paper because I finished it. But I was working on it. I just wasn't done. I don't want to give her
a corrupted file.
I don't remember. Somebody showed me how. I have no idea. It was not a skill of mine at all. But I definitely asked somebody, and they it would open, or like it couldn't open, or something was wrong with the document. But she obviously didn't try to open it for a while.
Right.
But I was working on it still, so I made sure it was done. Like maybe like the next day or something like that, it was done. But I just left it alone until she came to me and she's like, "Hey, it wasn't opening." And I was like,
"That's hilarious.
So weird. Let me like reshare it." And I just shared it with her, and she was like, "Thanks." And I was like, "Yo, good talk." That was the one time that I did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's advanced use of technology right there.
But
especially
I was
in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I had some smart friends. Okay, me computer skills didn't have any, but yeah, I mean it's terrible. I mean now, AI, whatever, it's all very terrible and different. But
Yeah,
that was the one
like
time
we haven't spoken about AI on this podcast yet, but just deep sighs.
it's real. It's really quite. It was already terrible.
Yeah.
And now I don't even understand like how we could dig ourselves out of this like hole that we
I'm not
have
sure that we can.
created.
I'm not sure.
The literacy rates continue to fall, and we are the state is like the standard for like good education. I'm just like, so what does that mean for the rest of this country?
Things are looking bad.
Like reading.
Yeah, people don't know how to read anymore.
But at least they have like speech to text to speech. They can like listen.
That is so embarrassing.
I know. I like reading books. You open it and you just, the letters make sense together.
Bring reading back.
You know what I'm saying? As English is a second language, right? Like as somebody who learned English who was not born here, like if I can learn English and I wasn't born here,
Right.
I think that as a native language we should be able to read the language that we're speaking to each other.
Yeah.
And we were doing that for like mad long, and then I don't know what happened.
Now people don't even know how to read in cursive. Now they don't know how to
really
read. They don't historical documents.
They don't do I used to have like writing class, like like penmanship. They don't have that.
They don't.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's typing now. I guess that's important.
I don't think so because that's just a given. Like I remember being in computer class when I was in fifth grade.
Did you have typing class? Like
yeah,
you learned how to type?
that's why you never see me type.
Are you like a really good typer?
Yeah.
So I want my typing speed is terrible.
Oh, mine is fast.
I never learned like there's like the right way to like keep your.
Oh, I don't do the ergonomics. No.
Oh, there's a word for it. What's the word?
Ergonomics.
It's like the way you put your fingers on the keyboard.
Yeah, right.
I don't know the word.
I don't think it's called ergonomics.
I don't think that's not necessarily ergonomics, but it could be like how you're sitting, your posture. Like you are supposed to type a certain way.
Yeah, there is. Like your first fingers belong on some letters and then other letters. I was learning and I was like, oh, I didn't know there was like
it's
a
really
system.
interesting. Yeah. No, I don't know how to do that.
Typing class. I didn't have typing class. I learned how to type just, I don't know. And it's fine. I think I type fine, but we were testing our speed. And my speed was terrible.
Slow.
And it wasn't, I don't think I typed like super slow, but like I made a lot of mistakes that I like was correcting in real time. And then I was watching him type and I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen the speed. I need to pay attention to you typing. I noticed you type fast, but in my head, I'm not watching you.
Oh, okay.
Like what your fingers are doing. I'm just hearing the clicking.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna learn. Yeah, well, we should bring that back too, I guess, because I never learned that either. I would like to learn. Yeah. Anyway, poor children. Poor children. Figured out. I don't know how to help. It's really quite terrible, scary stuff.
Yeah.
Back to us.
It looks sad over there.
It really, yeah. I'm like, maybe I have to go back. I know.
We need you as a teacher.
Just like,
come on. Just be miserable for the rest of your life.
No, like I might have to agree to that because they can't read. And I can't know that and just be like, anyway, I'm going to go like color. Like, no, it doesn't work in my brain. It makes me feel that way.
Gotta go teach the children.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not ready. But I am teaching them. Just, college. College. You know,
college is good.
They're reading and they know how to read.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can get to college, really.
That's not true. Because people are graduating high school without being able to read. So I don't know. They're obviously...
But are they going to college?
If they graduate high school, probably. Because I feel like, how'd you graduate high school?
That is true.
Who let you out? You took a state standardized test and passed it somehow.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I think COVID also, did a number.
Oh, 1,000%.
You could tell what grade somebody was in during COVID. I can tell.
You could tell. I was going to say
I meet them and I'm like, you were in 6th grade. Got it. You were in 3rd grade.
Interesting.
Because you learn reading in 3rd. Like you learn like phonics, literacy, all that. So as kids are getting older, I'm like, oh, you skipped 3rd grade. I'm like, oh, you skipped 9th grade. You skipped 5th grade.
That's hilarious.
That's why you don't have social skills. Because they all don't eye contact, not a thing anymore. Like,
oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All they want is YouTube shorts.
That's really yeah.
They're addicted.
They know so much. It's actually kind of insane how much they
addicted.
know. Like, I thought I watched a lot of TV. I definitely don't. Like, I watch like real shows. Like, I've never seen. I've never like.
Just scroll. Yeah, you don't have TikTok. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
I'm not even on YouTube like that. If I'm on YouTube, I'm like playing music.
Yeah.
But even like, yeah, like my younger, like the young people in my life, I'm just like, wow. They're like, yeah, this like group of TikTokers and this group of YouTube people, and they're all the same shows. They're all like, I'm just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's nice to see the changes when we notice them. And here's to noticing them more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's to staying steady.
Yeah.
In the things that you enjoy.
That's how you go on.
Yeah. That's how you go on.
And also, like, if things become misaligned again, reaching into your toolbox. Right? That's how you have it. You know, it's not meant, life is not linear. You're going to, you know, it's going to move around all the ways.
Yeah. And for a long time, especially when I was in college, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't, all of that. And now on the other side, like, it was okay. It was okay that I was committed to figuring it out.
Literally taught the opposite. You're taught to pick a major day 3 of school. And,
And then you have to stick to this thing for the rest of your life. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I want to know a little bit about this. And I want to know a little bit about this and this and this. And I think that was like a fine act.
Yeah, I feel like some of the kids I've met who are like graduating or about to graduate, all of them are like, I'm picking a major that's going to make me money. And I'm like, respect.
Be realistic.
I'm like, you do what you got to do.
Clearly, I know I was going to make money some way, somehow. Because
it's not what you decided.
I was not I've never been motivated by money. No, at least.
I wish I sometimes was. I'm really, it's a deterrent. Really, I'm not, unfortunately. Like, a really.
Yeah.
But the kids, you know, they're smart. They're like, yeah, I'm majoring this. It's like, I hate it, but it's gonna make me money. I'm gonna work for the X amount of years, and I'm like, bet. Don't have undergrad debt. Get your degree, make your money, and then go do what you want to do. That is a very good idea. So I don't know who taught them that. Maybe they just watched all of us, and they're like, I don't want that.
That's true. Yeah. Any last words you have
for myself? Notice the little things.
That's a good one.
Always notice little things.
Here. Yeah. Have faith in yourself. Because things are just they're not gonna make sense, you know?
You gotta just keep going. Just like close your eyes and walk on.
Yeah. Seriously, like just go on.
Yeah, continue. Like don't look for the logic there. Just deal with things as they come.
Yeah.
And at some point it'll kind of just like settle. And then you're like, oh, here are all the pieces that, you know, yeah. Because I thought I was being really aware of all the things that I was doing. And like all the ways that I was like, you know, right. And like somehow I'm like, oh, sure, okay. I like this. I'll take it.
We're like, oh, this is my life now.
Yeah. So I love that.
Yeah.
What do you hope our listeners take away?
I hope our listeners take away the knowing that the road isn't linear. The road isn't linear. And that's okay. But one day you're going to wake up and you're going to look around and be like, every choice that I made have led me here. And every choice that I will make will continue to lead me where I want to go. And so, like, stay where your feet are.
Stay where your feet are.
That will always be the lesson.
Stay where your feet are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like I'm repeating myself always with this part, but I think talk to people around you. Like, say stuff out loud, you know, tell them what's going on, what's not going on. People are better archivists of your life than you are. And I think that you have to respect the valley. Respect the valley. Respect the lessons. Respect the experience. Take it on the chin. Like, find some joy in it somewhere, because how much you respect the valley is how sweet the peak will feel. Gotta respect it. If you're like, oh, this is all terrible and horrible, when you get to the high point, you'll still be upset.
Right.
So you gotta just be like, this is my life right now. This is where we are. You know, build a little flower bed in the valley. I don't know. So when you make it to the peak, you could actually like just see the sun and just hang out.
Right, and like settle.
Yeah.
Settle
so
there.
Respect the valley to enjoy the peak.
I love that. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else to offer.
Great stuff.